Hi, I'm gonna make a playful attempt at speaking about the metaphysics of philosophy. So, what is philosophy? Philosophy is basically playing around with thoughts and ideas. And when children discuss things, they can discuss things such as what food is the best. Is it spaghetti and meatballs or is it lasagna? And which color is the best? Is it blue or is it red? Stuff like this. And this is a pretty playful discussion that isn't a scientific discussion, because you can have a scientific discussion, and science is analyzing the world and taking notes about information that you can take statistical notes about. And with this statistical information, you can make mathematical and scientific conclusions about how the world works. That's science. And philosophy is not like that. Philosophy is more like reaching with your hands and trying to grasp reality. So you can use many concepts, and all concepts doesn't have to be easily explained or logical and scientific. A concept can be abstract and irrational. And if a person has a concept, they need to express the concept. Or they don't have to, but they can if they want to share the concept to somebody. And when a concept is expressed, you have the expression of the concept, and whoever is interpreting the expression of the concept makes up their own concept in their head, and the concept they make up doesn't always have to be the concept that the person in the first place had. A person might have a concept that is a pretty irrational and abstract concept, and they might express it in words, and the person that interprets these words might make up another concept in their head, which is different from the concept that the original person had, that was the first person that had this concept. And this can cause misunderstandings. So I guess you can call this some of the dangers of philosophy, that there can be misunderstandings. But if you're aware of this, you can approach it with a abstract and illogical mind, basically. Or no, that's not a good way to put it. Okay. No, that was a very bad way to put it. But like I said, this is a playful recording, and there's no right and wrong. So let's take a concept as an example. Let's take the concept of people being fake. A person in the year 2020 might have this concept of people being fake, and they might want to share this concept with other people. So they make a voice recording video where they talk about this concept, and a person might hear this voice recording and think to themselves, this person believes that people are being replaced with synthetic replicas that are still made of organic matter, but they are synthetic, or a person in the year 2020 starts speaking about people being replaced, and somebody listens to this and think this is an extremely unattractive concept. Okay, this is an extremely unattractive concept. Where's this coming from? Is this person schizophrenic? Is this person mad? Is this person... Because this concept doesn't help me with anything. This concept just gives me a darker look at the world and makes me feel worse than I did before. So this concept really doesn't help me in any way. And that makes this concept very unattractive. And then you have some people in the 90s, a couple, a man and a woman, that are also speaking about people being fake. And they are not speaking about synthetic organic matter and people being replaced by synthetic replicas. They are talking about some form of dark force or something that causes people to act differently from what they did before. That seems just fake. There's no other way to explain it. But this couple understands each other and they have this concept together, and it's a really attractive concept between them. So, and maybe there is more people than just this couple that understands this concept, and then it's attractive to all of them. So basically the conclusion is that a concept can be perceived as either attractive or unattractive to the person that perceives somebody talking about their concept. Yeah. And of course, you can come up with any concept you want. You can come up with any concept you want, and you can believe anything you want. Okay? There's no right and wrong. Of course, if you start to act on your beliefs in a way that hurt other people, that's not good. So yeah. And if people are attracted to a concept, they will think that it's a very useful concept, or not useful, maybe just attractive, because it makes the world clearer for them. That's why it's attractive. It helps them orientate. It makes sense of the world around them. It helps them make sense of the world around them. That's why it's attracted to them. That's why it's attractive to them. And if a person is attracted to a concept, this attraction is going to attract more, people. Because if people see that somebody is attracted to a concept, other people are also going to be attracted to not the concept, but to the fact that there's an attraction there. So yeah. And if the person attracted to this attraction doesn't understand where the attraction is coming from, they are going to have this psychological reaction. They are going to come to a point where they decide that they are not going to put any effort into understanding something further. They're going to label it as madness, and they're going to label it as a dangerous form of madness that works sort of like a tree mushroom grows on a tree, or like a parasite. And they're going to label this person that is attracted to a concept as a mad, or maybe a schizophrenic. And they're going to take action in order to help this person, like a doctor would take action to help a patient. And this can be a form of misunderstanding. This can be a form of misunderstanding. If the person that is attracted to this concept doesn't want any help from a doctor, then they shouldn't get any help. And if the doctor still decides that they need help, then that is doing something against someone's will. So yeah, tricky situations here. So yeah, and if the person that is attracted to a concept acts on the ideas in a way that hurts other people, then a doctor can take action against the person's will, and it will protect the other people that this person would have hurt out of his ideas that he acted upon. So yeah, this is basically very tricky, and it's not cool when you have misunderstandings between people. I think everyone can agree on that. People doesn't want to misunderstand each other, and if a person has a lot of incredible ideas, as long as they don't act on those ideas, why does it matter to anybody? If a person has the craziest ideas that seem very scary to somebody, but the person with the crazy ideas doesn't act on the ideas, he just has the crazy ideas, then he is not being a danger to anybody. So then there's no reason for any doctors to take action against this person's will. And if the doctors conclude that the patient or the person with the crazy ideas has ideas that just are so crazy that they could be dangerous, and therefore the doctors need to take action, then that is action against someone's will. So this is very tricky. But I like psychology, and I like to make up concepts and ideas. Yeah. Yeah. So that is some words about the metaphysics of philosophy, I think you can call it. I don't have any more ideas for what to talk about right now, but there's probably a lot more to talk about, because we live in a world where you're allowed to talk about anything. As long as you don't, or as long as people don't think that you encourage people to hurt other people, or as long as people don't think that you want to hurt other people, or as long as people don't think that there is any sort of danger. But of course people can think that there is a danger, but there's a level where it gets dangerous, so you don't want to reach that level. That's my advice. But what is a free society? A free society is a society where you're able to have thoughts about anything, how weird and irrational and dangerous it might seem. Yeah, that's a free society. So, but it's not nice when people feel bad. And people can feel bad if they know that there are people around them that has thoughts that are seemingly crazy, or that in some way scare the people. If a person is scared by the thoughts that people in their surroundings have, that can be not fun, that can be miserable. And yeah, so that's not cool. So one person has a lot of ideas and another person is scared by the person's expression of these ideas, and he is uncomfortable and doesn't feel good. So this is not nice. This is not harmony. No, not at all. That is not harmony. But maybe it just has to be like this in order for reality to work, because everything cannot be harmonious. There has to be disharmony in some places. Everyone cannot understand everyone. That can be compared to perfectionism. And a perfectionist is somebody that wants to be as clear or as good as possible with something that they do. They want to do it in the best way possible, and they want to put as much energy as possible into it being in the best way possible. And the danger with that is that if a gemstone crystal is too clear and too perfect, it will crack. So gemstone crystals need to have some irregularities to be able to maintain their state. So yeah. So yeah. Now there's nothing more that I want to talk about right now. I'm almost on the top of a hill here, and it's a beautiful night. I'm in a forest. I'm walking around with a flashlight on the ground, lighting up the ground here. And the moon is almost full. I think it will be full in about 3 to 4 days. And the sky has many stars. And now I'm walking up this hill here. So yeah. And soon I'll be on this hill here, and I'll be able to overlook the city. And that's really nice. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's sit down here. Let's turn off the flashlight. Yeah, that's a beautiful sight. Many houses, many lights, like a nebula in outer space. In the distance, far away, in the horizon, a very high cell tower is standing, and it has some red lights on it, but also some blinking yellow lights, and it's very high. And in the city below, wow, so if I look up at the moon now, there's an airplane that just went by next to the moon, and yeah, it has a really long tail that is lit up by the moon, so it looks like a white tail. And if that airplane went by about, I don't even know how to measure this, but about about well, you should measure it in degrees, so about 20-30 degrees to the left, I don't think you would have seen the tail. So that's pretty cool. And now I'm looking at the city here again, and I really love to look at the city. There's a lot of cool stuff to see, and it's very, very peaceful. It's very peaceful. Yeah. You see cars that go home from work, and you see just a lot of lights, a lot of motion, and a lot of life, basically. Yeah, that's true. That's what you see, a lot of life. Yeah. But when you see lights in a city and when you see a nebula in outer space, one is a sign of life and one is not a sign of life. Before I end this recording, I can tell you one last thing. Sometimes it might feel pretty intense to live life. It might seem like things are coming from left and right, and it's so much to handle. It's so much information to process. You just want peace, and you want to relax, and you want to clear your mind. You don't want all these interactions with other people, all these thoughts, all these things. You just want to be calm and to not have things that you are stressed and worried about. But anyways, it is like that sometimes in life, that there is a pretty intensive period of time when you're going through an intensive time, and you wish you could just be out in the countryside somehow, or somewhere at a house where there's nobody else, and you don't hear any sounds, and you don't see anyone. It's just you, your house, and you have a lot of food there, so you can stay there for many weeks. Maybe that's what you want. But this is a thought that hit me before. You got outer space, and in outer space there's a lot of space between the planets, and there it is probably pretty calm and not a lot of stuff happening. But then you got nebulas, And in the nebulas, there's a lot of stuff happening. So much that the entire space between the stars is lit up with a purple haze. And maybe there is a lot of small particles between the stars in the nebula that doesn't exist between the planets. So there's a lot of stuff happening in nebulas. And what are nebulas? They are the place where stars are born.